38-year-old Victor Guzman keeps an eye on municipal police while selling a traditional rice drink from Venezuela. He still doesn't have a street vendor permit. Trying to make a living far away from home is hard, he says, but worse is hearing slurs against Venezuelans.
Especially to people like me, a street vendor. People tell me move, get out of here, go back to your country.
An armed assault, mainly perpetrated by Venezuelans and caught on security cameras, sparked a wave of anti-Venezuelan feeling in Peru. Victor says honest compatriots are paying the price.
People have to understand we are not all the same. The great majority is here to work and send money to our families, but to get them out of the inferno that Venezuela has become.
Business.
All right. First, let's start by saying all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Shai, by Hashem Kadash, double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Now, I just want to get out a couple of scriptures on that point that he just made, because as you can see, the Lord got Venezuela going through hell, and now they're migrating to many of their brothers' countries. And they're being treated like, shit. So shit. And, it goes back to the curses. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother. Like the dude said, all of us, not out here, robbing and stealing and, causing trouble. Some of us is actually out here to, work so we can support our families. But all of them, the ones that's out there doing so-called what's right, so to speak, is being thrown in the same category as those that's doing the wrong. But that's the curses, man, because Peru is Zebulun, and Argentina is Venezuela. Venezuela is Asher and them brothers, man. So it says Deuteronomy 28:54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave. I'm finna jump. Verse 56, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness, right? Because the women used to be feminine back then, and tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, right? So, ultimately that's the curses that's on the tribes, man. And that's why he going through what he going through. Because Zebulun and Asher came to America together, or came to South and Central America together. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 39. It says, and whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasar, which is Salmanasar the fifth, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And that's 2 Kings chapter 17, that history. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, which was over here in America. As you can see, they landed in South and Central America. It says that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river, for the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. Right. So, the Lord helped them get over here, man, by way of signs, and signs was chariots. It says, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, right? And it took them a year and a half to get over here. And the same region is called Arsarath. All right. This is Matthew chapter 22, verse 36. It says, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Yahushua said unto them, Thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart. And we know love is what? Keeping the commandments. This is John chapter 5, verse 3. It says, For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous, right? So that's what love is. All right, this is back in Matthew chapter 22, verse 36. Start back at verse 37. It says, Yahushua said unto them, Thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, right? So, verse 40, it says, On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Right, so, they was given strict orders, from the Lord to love each other, and they, as you can see, they forgot who they were. After they came over here to America, they eventually start worshiping idols, and now they going through all this hell and stuff, because they didn't want to keep the commandments, and now they against each other and whatnot, man. But that's all prophecy, man. Those are the curses that Israel or Zebulun and Asher are under, man.
Men in Peru's top textile emporium say the number of Venezuelans working here is growing. An armed assault, mainly perpetrated by Venezuelans and caught on security cameras, sparked a wave of anti-Venezuelan feeling in Peru. Victor says honest compatriots are paying the price.
People have to understand we are not all the same. The great majority is here to work and send money to our families, but to get them out of the inferno that Venezuela has become.
See, if they knew who they were, and were keeping the commandments to the best of their ability, having faith, and they would know that what's going on is prophecy, and them little robberies and stuff that be happening is being done by Yahweh Bashim Shai. This is Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness, right? So the Lord controls the righteous and the wicked. I make peace and create evil, right? And you would say that what that was happening in that scene right there was evil. I, the Lord, do all these things, but it's all of Yahweh Shema Shai, man. The Lord put the spirit on people to do acts such as that. So,
Businessmen in Peru's top textile emporium say the number of Venezuelans working here is growing. Many Peruvians say Venezuelans are taking their jobs.
Some businessmen here have laid off Peruvians because they say Venezuelans charge them less.
The anti-immigration sentiment among many Peruvians was fueled by a conservative candidate in Lima's mayoral race in October. He gained popularity by saying Venezuelans are threatening security and jobs. But government officials have condemned xenophobic slurs. Peru's open border policy has led more than 400,000 Venezuelans in the country. Nearly 70,000 have already been granted work permits. Peruvian officials say the presence of Venezuelans is having an impact in Peru's health and education systems. There are nearly 30,000 Venezuelan children in schools, but they also say the impact is positive in Peru's workforce because many Venezuelans are doing the jobs Peruvians don't want to take. Many Peruvians reacted against growing xenophobic sentiment by opening their homes to shelter migrants and refugees. 21-year-old Alexander.
Yeah, it look like they're doing good, but all that's gonna come to an end quick.
Torrealba is sleeping with 15 other Venezuelans in one room.
Yo estoy muy agradecida porque gracias a Dios.
I feel lucky to have been offered this shelter, but it's a pity many compatriots have been mistreated. We're not here because we want to be, but because we need to be.
However, the majority of Venezuelans say they feel welcome in Peru. Escaping from inflation and food and medicine shortages back home make them choose to endure almost anything for a better future. Mariana Sanchez, Al Jazeera, Lima, Peru.
Right, and they rejoicing, having fun, festivals and all that shit. But what's happening to them is meant for them to straighten themselves up and come back to Yahweh Shema Shai. This is 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Right, so they're not even being mindful of what's going on to correct them and get them back right with Yahweh Shema Shai. Make peace between them and Yahweh, man. But, as you can see, they're still dancing and partying and hanging out, and they're happy that they're over there in Peru, even though all this chaos is going on in their country and in countries around them. So, but yeah, man, a lot of them gonna die off, so, and when Yahushua come back, everything gonna be put right back in order like it's supposed to be. But with that being said, all praise to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.